Hello and welcome to another Doctor's Assistant 1 video. Today I'm doing a review of the Marvel Selects. I'm pretty sure this is from Marvel Selects range. A group from sort of Infinity War and Endgame, really. I'm going to go on a limb and say, yeah, mainly from Infinity War. Of this recording, it's the 30th of June, and the only reason why I'm saying that is because the day before, so the 29th of June, I did actually just watch both Infinity War and Endgame, watching Endgame was only the second time I've ever done that, or the first time since it came out in cinema, or second viewing of it, but as I say, first time since I watched it in the cinema. And yeah, basically the only reason why I'm saying that this is because, yeah, it's just kind of refreshed me about Groot and the weapon that he has here as well, because for the life of me I couldn't remember what the hell this thing was even called. It's referred to as the Stormbreaker, which is pretty badass, really. I'm pretty sure in the more recent, maybe even the Ultimate Thor comics, I think it might be, or some of the more recent Marvel Thor comics, he has like a battle axe like this. It might be called Stormbreaker in that as well, I'm not sure. But it's also pretty cool that the sort of like handle is forged well, not forged, but sort of created by Teenage Groot, cutting off his arm and then kind of having it be, or connect the two bits that Thor does actually make, and that in the film in Infinity War. So yeah, that's pretty cool, really. As for the actual accessory itself, it's very, very cool, very detailed, and that, you know, like lots of bits that are wrapped around, and has this really cool wooden texture and feel to it, and then has this very sharp sort of blade, and then more of a sort of softer, well, not softer, but less sort of sharp, obviously, on the other side sort of bit, and that, you know, it's your typical sort of axe. I've been thinking about this. The other accessory he comes with is this little device here. I'm gonna go on a limb and say that it's supposed to mimic his gaming device in the film, and that he has, well, I was gonna say throughout the film, but at some point in the film, at the beginning there where the Guardians of the Galaxy are introduced. I'm just not sure though, but then again, it is so small of a thing that it's like, it would be difficult to have it a lot more screen accurate, as it were. So it's got sort of 5 buttons, and then a little button on the side as well, 2 little screens, just a little blue sort of device, really, and then it's got some sort of detailing on this side, and then that's about it, really. So accessory wise, it's not too bad, really. It's not the best sort of action figure for accessories, so if that's what you're looking for a purchase, then this is probably not the action figure for you. However, moving on to sort of the detail of the action figure, which is absolutely stunning, really. You know, you put him near a tree in real life and he would blend in easily, you know. He's got this very sort of obviously wooden texture and sort of design, and that very faithful to the actual Groot seen in Infinity War and Endgame. And the reason why I'm saying that, if you're even wondering, or specifically calling out those two films, is because obviously of his height, and that this has to be presumably Teenage Groot, which is only seen in those two films, which is a bit of a shame, really. I quite like Teenage Groot, but yeah, like, I'm pretty sure in Guardians of the Galaxy 2 he's still a baby Groot, and then in the first film is sort of adult-sized Groot, which is like X amount of height taller than this one. But yeah, as I say, the level of detailing, like this is on the head, like the bits of twig coming out of his head, and then a bit of twig coming out of his back of him, and then, as I say, like where you would normally have just a normal sort of back for an action figure or a coat or whatever, you know, instead you've got all this sort of like paneling, but kind of misshapen panels, and that to give detail where his back and butt cheeks would be, I guess. And then yeah, you've got this sort of swirling design of like vines and tree branches that have really sort of gripped round his legs to make his legs, and then these sort of stumps, these sort of pointy stumps for obviously his feet and that, and then yeah, as I say, just this sort of wooden sort of texturing and detail, you know, is really phenomenal. You know, like it's all like etched as well, like it's been carved out, like the action figure's been carved out of a tree. Like it's really good. Like it's not like this side is the exact same on this side. Obviously, this bit's lower, and then vice versa. It kind of like goes up and then bit down, and it's chipped basically. Like, you know, like if you were cutting something, cutting a tree down, it would start to chip the wood, and that. And then you've got darker and lighter sort of shades of sort of black and brown and dark brown and a bit of lighter brown in certain areas and stuff, you know. And that just to give it this really sort of sense of weathering and detail and that, you know. Again, I think detailing wise it's excellent. You can just about make out a very small like little frowny face, and then obviously for the eyes they've just done black with a little bit of sort of detailing around the eyes, and that's about it really. What else? Articulation wise, he's quite limited. The most noticeable or notable even part of articulation would probably be the head. The head kind of just moves up and down and left to right, and is on a ball joint, so you can move it sort of up and down and sort of have him look diagonally or sort of upright and down and side to side, and kind of like tilt it from side to side as well. You know, he has knee articulation and that, and I think that you could swivel the knees and stuff. His arms can go out to the side a little bit, but not a lot, and then in at the elbows, and then his hands are kind of, you know, on a joint, so you can move them out and swivel them full 360 degrees as well. And that the centre of his sort of person is articulated, meaning like there's like a joint there, so you could have him kind of hunched a bit, or like less hunched, I guess. Like what else? I think the feet are somewhat posable, but not as posable as you might think or might want, maybe, I'm not sure. But as I say, in terms of articulation, he's not as articulated as you might think, but articulation sort of average, so slightly above average. I think where this action figure really shines is in the level of detail, so I think if you're really wanting a very detailed Groot action figure, then this is probably the action figure for you. So yeah, thanks for watching, comment, rate and subscribe.